that we have been watching western parts of both Washington and Oregon, this area right around the Portland region. So you have been slammed with a high-end atmospheric river event. So we're talking about a ton of moisture. And once you get into these high-end events, it's just too much of a good thing. You know, they like to see the snow. They like to see the rain. But unfortunately, just getting too much as we started off the week Monday into Tuesday and then even into this morning. Of course, we were still dealing with some of that very, very heavy rainfall across the area. So that has resulted in those landslides. The threat of mudslides also a concern here ongoing. We look at Olympia just yesterday, over 3 inches of rain. That set a daily record. Same for Seattle, a record at 2.33 inches. And in Portland, record of just under 2 inches. So coming down across the area, a lot of rain in a short period of time. And unfortunately, that did trigger our landslide. A landslide occurs when you have a heavy rain event, and that heavy rain is able to seep through the soil, and eventually it gets to a layer that it can't penetrate through. So you get a thin layer of water forming that essentially acts as a lubricant, kind of separates the land and allows it to move along the hillside or the slope, and eventually the surface becomes unstable. Gravity takes over, and that moving mass of land can be coming down really fast. We're talking speeds of 60 miles an hour, and the size of the displaced land can vary greatly, but you can remove enough volume to cover Central Park in 20 feet of sediment. So we can be seeing big landslides, and that's why it's a concern for obviously vehicles and homes in some of these areas downhill. Mike? More snow into the mix, so give you a virtual view of what it might be looking like for you in downtown Minneapolis as we expect another shot of snow to move in. Now, the good news is the winds are not going to be nearly as potent as they are for areas off to the west, but snowfall totals likely to be in that 5 to 8 inch range for the city, so a ½ foot definitely attainable for downtown Minneapolis. We look at the regional picture, and you can see just about everybody around Minneapolis, St. Paul, looking at those 5, 6, 7 inch totals. I think the lesser amounts as you head well to the west of the city, that's where we're looking at more of those 4 to 5 inch totals. So we'll time it out for you. Quiet through the evening as we head into the overnight as well. Now we get you into lunchtime tomorrow, and you can see the snow now moving into the area, taking over light to moderate through the morning, and the afternoon will offer up more in the way of moderate snow showers all the way into Friday early morning. You see it 2 a.m. Still moderate snow coming down in Minneapolis before Friday. By the time you're probably up around maybe getting out on the roads, 9 a.m. That's when we've got at least some light snow showers still sticking with us, lingering around the Minneapolis area, Mike. Beyond that, we look at the Northeast. Some snow headed your way, interior parts of the Northeast as we head into the end of the week and start of the weekend. So we're looking at late Friday through early Sunday. Just about the day Saturday would be when we'd see most of this snow piling up. 5 to 8 inch totals up there in North Country, New York, northern sections of New England, down into the western part of PA, parts of the Appalachians. Generally that 1 to 3, 3 to 5 inch range, with some of those peaks in West Virginia seeing some higher amounts. Dip in the jet stream settling in across the eastern part of the country for the end part of the week. Now our northern low is going to weaken, but a developing southern low will begin to move north, and this one's going to kind of, take the cake, steal the thunder, so to speak. And as this moves to the north, we'll watch those interior areas, enough moisture and enough cold air to allow for snow showers to fall. All rain, though. That's it along the I-95 corridor. So I know if you were looking forward to maybe seeing some weekend snow there, unfortunately just not in the cards for us with this event. That cold air staying focused across interior parts of the Northeast. There's Friday late as we begin to see some snow edge into parts of West Virginia, western PA, and parts of New York, as well as New England. But Saturday brings much of the steadier rain across sections of New York State and the New England states. Again, nothing but rain along the I-95 corridor. And as we get you into late Saturday, early Sunday, you see some lingering snow showers sticking with us. But I think the bulk of the accumulating snow will be coming during the day on Saturday, with just some snow for show continuing into our Sunday. So we look at our observed snowfall since the start of September. Above average in a place like Albany, but a foot plus below average in a place like Burlington. Boston slightly above, New York slightly above, Philadelphia slightly above. Good news, because you're not going to add any, at least in this event, Mike. Feel bad about yelling at my husband for keeping the heat too warm and making our bill too high. It's not 1.2 $2 million, right? Goodness gracious. Can you imagine an electric bill like that? It's like a quill, a scroll. Hey, it's a scroll. Sugar Mountain, let's look at your forecast. Get a little help from Mother Nature on Friday. Just some snow showers. Other than that, though, temperatures on the milder side leading up to the snow. 51 the high today, of course. 49 tomorrow. Sunshine's back, but temperatures colder for the weekend. So after the snow, we're actually going to see those temperatures stay below freezing Saturday, just above the mark Sunday, Mike. A lot of areas that would like to see maybe a little bit more snow. Minneapolis, you've seen the snow this season, but expect to see a little bit more wintry weather as we give you a virtual view of what you can expect through the end of the week in places like Minneapolis. Also, St. Paul, just nearby. You're going to see the snow showers as well. How much? I think 5 to 8 inches, a good bet around Minneapolis, St. Paul. You can see the purple. That's that 5 to 8 inch range. So half foot, I think, very likely for downtown Minneapolis, with lesser amounts closer to the 3, 4, 5 inches as you head to the west of town. Also, well to the east of town. We look at the timing. We're quiet through the evening, but overnight you can see the rain-snow mix begins, maybe even a little bit of ice before snow settles in. Snow continues through most of the day tomorrow, and at times moderate to even heavier snow showers. The deeper blue indicates that more moderate heavy snow. Lighter snow still lingering for your Friday morning, so you get up, you head to work, maybe still up against some snow showers. I think by the time we get into the later part of Friday and very early Saturday, a lot of that snow will end. So by Friday evening, expect just some light snow showers to linger in the area before completely winding down. But again, 5 to 8 inches, not a bad system. I know you're very storm savvy or snow savvy there, so it's not going to be an epic event, but still enough to maybe cause you some trouble on the road. So keep that in mind for the rest of the week. Place like Chicago, probably closer to an inch around the metro area, but as you get outside of town, those northern, western, southern suburbs, we could see closer to those 2, even 3 inch totals as you get well away from the city, Mike. Result of that atmospheric river that has been set up, bringing plumes of moisture into the area. So we've been dealing with a lot of rain and a lot of snow, depending on where you are. But of course, that rain triggering some of those landslides and the threat of mudslides across the area. So water vapor imagery starting Sunday all the way into the early part of the week. Just more and more and more moisture. It has been nonstop. Poured yesterday, and so we were looking at record rainfall across the area. Olympia picked up 3.04 inches yesterday. That's a record, a daily record also for Seattle at 2 1/3 inches. Portland coming in just shy of 2 inches, but also setting a daily record. And when we look at our 2-day rainfall totals, plenty of areas where we were actually exceeding a half foot of rain. Landslides, of course, what we saw here across the region, they occur in these heavy rain events. You get that heavy rain seeping through the soil. Eventually, it's going to reach a layer that it can't go through. So you actually get a layer of rain that almost acts, or a layer of water that almost acts as a lubricant. And eventually, gravity overcomes the surface tension so that earth gives way and slides down the hillside, taking with it anything that's on it, and unfortunately, taking out whatever's down at the base of the hill. And these things can be moving very, very quickly and can be huge in size. Mike?